Hey, how you doing? My name is Robert Sidoti. I am living currently for 16 years on Martha's Vineyard. That's on the east coast of the United States. I'm originally from California. I've lived in New York City for a long time. Love both coasts. Lived there half my life west, half my life east. Been practicing yoga for 48 this year, so I think it's roughly 20 years on and off. But steady teaching now for about 10, 11 years. I love it. I keep my teaching skills sharp by two main things. Is number one, just constant study and my own practice. So it's a home practice, or it's a lot of videos and watching other teachers. Basically taking as much intel and information as I can, whether it's I'm getting intel on what I want to share, or capturing things that I don't want to share, that I don't think are necessarily safe or even really useful. So, but I think where I actually keep my teaching skills really sharp is actually through the teaching. And while I'm teaching, whether it's one person in a private session or a group of many people, I'm always watching and listening to what people have to say, what their experience was like, how they enjoyed or didn't enjoy a pose. Watching a student move, I can get a lot of intel from that, and see, wow, I never even thought about lifting my arm in that position. So it's a lot of watching, listening, studying, a constant effort on my part. Yeah, tunes have always been important to me. Less a little bit more these days, but I understand the value of tunes. So check out Fat Freddy's Drop, and it's a song called Hope. It is the best, currently the best, most favorite song I have. But it's a really broad, I'll leave you with that, actually, because that's a very broad question. There's music good for all kinds of vibes and classes. So Fat Freddy's Drop. Play it loud. Okay, just being absolutely truthful and honest, a cold beer. After a yoga class, literally the best thing is a cold beer. I'm not promoting drinking alcohol, but for me, it's amazing. It tastes great. One beer, maybe two. But if I'm going more the healthy route, I'm gonna grab some kind of fresh tonic or fresh juice of sorts, just to kind of complement all the work that I've done. But honestly, a beer, you can't beat it. Culmination, little buzz. So, speaking on behalf of the average student, my assumption is, and knowledge is, that especially for a beginner, the home practice, to practice, say, yoga download, it gives the person a chance to really kind of fail and fumble and fall and learn and build confidence in the sort of structure and safety of their own home. Now, not to say that you can't do that in a community class and feel supported and cared for and not embarrassed, but for some, it's just going to feel better for that learning curve to be at home. And with all these different opportunities for online practice, it's really good. More and more people are finding yoga, so that's cool. So a common mistake or mistakes I see in yoga practitioners, especially beginners, is this overly enthusiastic way of trying too hard. Trying too hard leads to injury, right? Try to promote this progressive build into all these poses. You'll feel so much better having done that work anyway. The other one is having it look a certain way to be correct. It has to look this way for it to be right. Get in the mindset of, what does it feel like? What does it feel like for you? And then it's correct if it feels all right. How I want to share this yoga practice, right? I want it to be reasonable, repeatable, sustainable, long-term, right? So everything I do is going to be accessible, approachable, and more on the functional range of motion and movement. I don't necessarily want to get wildly enthusiastic with flexibility. My own practice in the beginning of trying to get to these places that my body either wasn't ready for or won't ever be ready for, cause too many funky feelings and injuries. And so I take my several years of practicing yoga and all the various ways that I have, and I take that into how I present it now. I want this to be something that's very doable for the average person, especially the beginner. And for years, I started the Broga yoga geared for guys, right? And the reason I started that was to speak to or make more of an impact in getting more men to practice this awesome thing called yoga, called movement, called connecting with your body, right? So my approach is a little bit more kind of fundamental, straightforward, strength-based, and I believe in it 100%. I've been doing it a long time now, and sharing it with hundreds, thousands of people all over the place, and it's a really beautiful thing to be able to share with somebody or many people, and also create these awesome, cool relationships with people from all over the place. So it's a great way for me to spend my life and to also kind of live that lifestyle, live by example for my 16-year-old son, for my ex-wife who I'm still really close to, for my current girlfriend, for all my friends, my family. I believe in the practice, and so I want to share it the best way I possibly can. So if you're watching this and you watch any of the videos, I'm sure that comes through, and I appreciate you being here and doing your best to practice.